So first I just want to thank everyone so much for being here and spending this special occasion with us and making it so memorable for us. We really do appreciate it. We'll remember it for the rest of our lives. Some of you know I live in New Orleans now, and we just had a hurricane. So for anyone who was with us this morning, a little drizzle wasn't going to stop us. Thanks for being there with us. Before I begin, there's something you should all know about me. I cried at my sister's Sweet 16. I also cried at her high school graduation, and again at her college graduation. I teared up at her white coat ceremony, and on the day she became a doctor, and I was a blubbering mess the day I found out that she and Amar were engaged. So if I get a little bit emotional tonight, just know that I'm only trying to be consistent. I call my sister Akka. It's a name that means elder sister, but it's more than that. It's a sign of love and respect and honor. I tried calling her Nitasha once, it didn't work. My sister and I have a very special relationship. She's my best friend, my confidant, my advocate, my dance partner, my comic relief, and most recently, my psychoanalyst. She's everything you could dream of in a sister. And she's done as much to shape my life and my character as my mother and father. We've had countless wonderful memories together. When I was born, Akka had no interest in being jealous of a younger sibling. Those of you who knew me as a baby knew how much of a challenge it was to get my pudgy little face to show any kind of emotion, besides maybe grumpy and gassy. But there she'd be, for hours on end, playing games and making faces just to make her baby brother smile even once. When I was a toddler, she'd dress me up like a girl and pretend I was her sister. When we got older, we'd roller skate together in the basement with the radio on, put on plays and performances for our parents and our guests at dinner parties. We'd spend many of our summers together in India, exploring our heritage with our wonderful grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins. When we were told we were moving from our childhood home in Valley Stream, we put up an impressive, united negotiating front. Priority number 1 on our list of demands, that Mom paint our new house like a submarine, complete with portholes and fish, to pay homage to our favorite TV show at the time, Sequest. Sequest dance? Yeah. It turns out that Mom was an even craftier negotiator, agreeing to all of the terms, and then somehow getting away with meeting none of our demands. And then, together with Kavirana, we navigated our way through adolescence, our awkward teenage years, and the inherent challenges and joys that come with growing up and becoming adults. But there's one story I've been meaning to tell for a long time that I've never told you before, which is rare. It's a memory. Akka and I were 3 years apart in school, and there were brief windows of time. When we'd be together in the same school. During one of those times, when we had just moved to a new neighborhood, we were on the bus together going home. And there was this girl a few seats ahead of us who was getting bullied by a bunch of boys. They teased her, called her names, and just generally made her feel awful the way bullies can do. I I remember feeling badly for her, for the girl. Kids could be cruel, and I was glad that this time I wasn't the target. But when I turned to look at you, I could tell that this wasn't an adequate response. Your face was red with anger and embarrassment. Anger at the boys, embarrassment for the girl, and for me. Because you didn't want your baby brother to see that kind of ugliness. The next part is a blur. You stood up for the girl, you said something to the bullies, and now they had their eyes on us. And I'm starting to get a little scared. Our house is a few stops away, and as the barrage comes in our direction, you grab my hand and you said, "We're going now." And we marched down the aisle now. As we walked the few extra blocks home, you looked straight ahead, your face still hard and mad, and you kept holding my hand tightly. Nobody said a word. After about a minute, as we neared our driveway, I could see that you were done being tough. Your nose was quivering, you let out a wet sigh and squeezed my hand, and you said, "Thank God you're not going to be like them." And the amazing thing about that to me, the reason why I never forgot that moment, is that until that point, I was just some snot-nosed kid who never proved to anybody that I was any better than those boys or anybody else. And the only difference between me and them at that moment was that you were standing next to me, you were holding my hand, and never let it go. What I'm trying to say is that she makes you better, simply by the strength of her example and the grace of her presence. I've been so blessed to have that kind of influence in my life. She makes me better, and Amar, I know she does the same for you. I've known Amar for a long time. He may not have known it, but I looked up to him a great deal growing up. In high school, Amar was that cool, funny, interesting guy that you always wanted to be around. He was the captain of the tennis team, president of the biggest clubs in school, and the drummer of what I believe will be remembered as the greatest student jam band in the history of the Wheatley School. A seminal band called Dog Jam. That, and he could pretty much grow a full beard by the 10th grade. So it was a very impressive resume. As I've gotten to see him mature over time, I've gotten to see what a bright, hard-working physician he's become for his patients, and what a loving, dependable partner he's become for my sister. My admiration and respect for him continues to grow. What I like best about Amar, though, is what he brings out in my sister. When she's with him, I see another side of her. It's a secret side that appreciates little things and never takes itself too seriously. It's a side that sees the world in brighter colors and hears a life filled with music. It's a side that laughs with its whole body, the kind of laugh that makes your nose shiver, and your eyes water, and your cheeks turn red. It's love. It's the kind of love that lifts you up. And it's a familiar feeling. It's the kind of love that we have to offer in our family. The kind that loves fiercely and unconditionally. That rallies around to support you like a warm embrace. The kind of love that revels in your joys and stands by your side through your difficulties. And though we sometimes make mistakes, it's the kind of love that grows and matures over time. And Amar, it's the kind of love that I've recognized all too well in your family too. This isn't something that I wish for you now, because I know it's something you already shared. What I do wish for, though, is that you recognize it and appreciating in each other every day, during happy times, but most importantly, during difficult ones. And I wish that you'll recognize it in those of us that love and support you. There's a whole museum full of us here tonight, and many more who are not here. I hope you'll draw from the strength that provides as you start to build your own life together, and that you'll let it nurture you and keep you over time. That, and I hope you'll consider naming your firstborn son after me. This is a toast, so will everyone please raise your glass? Here's to the ones who lift us up, who make us better and stronger, who paint our worlds in warm, bright colors, and fill our rooms with music and laughter. And here's to the lucky ones, who can look into the eyes of such a person and smile. Smile and call her sister. Smile and call him brother. Smile and call him husband. Smile and call him wife. Cheers to the happy.
Everybody, give Varun a big round of applause. That was excellent, excellent. So if you guys enjoy the rest of the evening, I also like to let you know that the Egyptian Gallery will be